What is going on, guys? Today we have another video. We're gonna throw the 210 back together, and by we're, I mean me. Last night, me and Johnny, which is the owner of the Green Craftsman GT3000, that one, we got the shift linkage done. He put the fenders and seat and everything back on. It does drive now. The governor needs adjusted, and throttle cable needs to be fixed. I can put a video up of that driving last night. And just to get one thing clear, but that is not mine, and this one is not mine. Both of these are Johnny's. I'll put his TikTok up on screen again. He did get the engine for me though, but this one is not mine. Although I wish it was, because A, it sounds very, very good, and I like the height of it. But no, this is not mine. This is his. That is also his. The 212 up here is also his. That transmission is his. That is his. That is the old motor off of that Craftsman. But you guys can watch me put these or this back together if you want. I'm not gonna make you, but you do you. Shouldn't take all that long. I might start it. Try to break in those rings a little more. Yeah, I don't know. Just depends on how far I get putting it back together. Anyways, guys, time lapse of this going back together. Alrighty guys, this is the end of the video. I did drive it around a little bit. As you can tell, it's in here. We also got Johnny's Craftsman in here. That's almost done, and the hunk of junk over there for another guy. Yeah, he's just a guy. Yeah. It still needs a little work, I'll give you that. But I'll put the guy's TikTok that rebuilt it on screen, along with Johnny's. Yeah. Well, see you in the video, and have a good day. You're doing victory laps! Put it in neutral. There, great. So that's neutral. Hey, that's fine. That's all you need in reverse. Put it in neutral. Here, I'll just do this. Safety's out. It's warm! What?
I want to change them tonight.
The what?
I'm changing these bitches around tonight.
What are?
Oh shit.
What are you changing?
Tables.
Alright. Kill it. Dude.